between the ending fight between Christian and Rock Lee. They're still clashing with their giant things, with their giant creatures. Christian in the Biju mode, Biju mode in the first stage in KCM actually. Somehow he turned into Kurama in KCM, and Rock Lee in his Eudora stage. Basically, it's basically a giant tiger, giant white tiger. Until the final clash, Christian goes, "Raw tail beast ball!" Rock Lee is about to catch it, but then he realizes Christian's not going for it. He goes, then Christian says, "Heavy cannon!" Then he shoots like a cannon, like a beam out, going, which the Eudora tries to block, but it's defeated. Rock Lee is defeated. Rock Lee's on the ground. Christian falls out of his seat and falls and lands on his feet, going, "Rock Lee." Sasuke is even more jealous. He goes, next is Naruto Uzumaki versus Minine Hyuga. Actually, you know what? Let's just say all the matches that went normal. That was the last match. Now let's just go into the finals. Tamari, it's Christian, Tamari, and Naruto in the finals. Actually, it's the Uzumaki twins in the finals. When it starts, they all get ready. Christian says, "Ah!" and goes, "Rasengan!" Then he activates Karma and his Joagon. He goes, "Ah!" then throws his Rasengan somehow, and it digs right into Naruto's skull. I'm kidding. It's an illusion. He goes, "Ah!" and then they all get their Rasengans ready, and they go in the middle and clash, going, "Ah!" But since Christian is on the other side, he pushes it aside. He pushes their Rasengans forward to make them hit the side of the stadium. Then, with his Rasengan still intact, he can still use the Rasengan, hits Naruto in the face with the Rasengan and kicks Naruto back. Then they both target him. He's dodging most of the attacks. Christian cranks it up into going to Sage mode. Then says, "Rasengan Barrage!" and one-shots Naruto. Naruto's kind of nervous, so then he activates his four-tailed state. He goes, "Rah!" Christian is dodging most of his attacks, going, Naruto cranks it up to 5 tails and scratches Christian in the stomach, which leaves a giant gaping hole almost in his stomach. He jumps up in the air going, "Flamethrower!" He says, "Fire style, great flame ball!" He goes, about like 30 fireballs come out of his mouth, going, and then he says, "Water style, water pistol!" Then shoots more. Then he creates a giant water pistol and shoots it. Naruto says, "Rasengan!" breaking it, clashing with it, but then the water bullet loses. Then Christian deactivates Sage mode and says, "One shot!" He stays in Sage mode and says, "One shot!" He's in Karma, Joagon, QB Sage mode. He goes, then creates a giant Rasengan, says, "Oh, the Rasengan!" Naruto says, "Rasengan!" creating his biggest Rasengan, which is not too big. Let me show you how big it is. I'd say Christian's is about this circle right here, and Naruto's is about as big as this lamppost right here. Christian goes, "Duh, duh," and then they clash. Christian says, "Ah!" Then they clash. Christian's is losing at first since his has more energy in it, but his is weaker because Naruto actually did a lot of time. Christian just randomly used Rasengan. Christian's is losing. He goes, "Nah." Then he creates another one and bashes it against his. Then he says, "Ah." He says, "Well, looks like I'll use that attack." He jumps over there and pulls out a Gallic gun, going, charging up a Gallic gun, aka a purple lightning beam, going. Naruto goes, Rasengan, and creates a Rasengan as big as Christian's, and goes in. Then Christian says, and shoots his giant Gallic gun, which clashes with Naruto's Rasengan. Christian is losing at first, but then he goes, then it turns blue, saying. Then he appears behind Naruto and kicks him in the back. He goes, ah! Then he slams down Naruto. Naruto goes flying down. He goes, ah! Christian also falls because of the strain. Then they start fighting for a while, draining their chakra to the limit until Christian has no more chakra. Then they do their last attacks. Christian backs up and says, "Here's my jutsu I created." And says, "Shiden." It says, "Purple lightning." Okay, no, he doesn't. He goes, Rasengan, creating his biggest Rasengan yet. He goes, no, actually, he creates a normal-sized Rasengan and goes, he's about to fall back, but then he goes, no. They both rush, going, then they clash. But then when